everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So it is officially T-3 weeks until Barcelona Half Marathon, which I am a little bit nervous about, but today is my final big long run where I actually get in any particular pace. So I'm doing 10 miles, 16 kilometers today with 2 kilometers hotspot, as runner calls it, which is like a faster pace section during it. And I think the point in this is just to kind of basically get your legs used to running a faster pace over a longer distance. So I'm a little bit stressed about this. This is the first time that I've done a long run in this training block where I've actually aimed for any particular pace. All the rest of it has been easy peasy, super chill, just get the distance done. Whereas this one I actually have to hit those paces. So I'm a little bit nervous for it, but also really excited. We were told that there was a named storm coming, and somehow today, just today, we get this glorious sunshine. So I'm really excited to get out and make the most of it. This is actually one of my favorite parts about being a runner is having that excuse to spend time outside. And I know I don't really need an excuse to spend time outside. You know, I've got the dog, I take the dog for walks, I love hiking anyway, but it's kind of like, sometimes I don't feel like going for a run, but because I've got a training program, because I'm training towards something, it's like, well, you actually have to go for a run. And then I go for a run and lo and behold, I feel so much better for it. So I definitely have running to thank for like a lot of my mental health benefits and gains, just because it gets me outside. And I think that's probably one of the best things that I can do for my own mental health. But this run is also hopefully going to be a bit of a settler on my nerves. I know that I can do 21 kilometers. It's not really an issue of the distance. It's just that with this race, I am gonna go for it. I'm actually gonna go fast. And if you watched my vlog from Oxford Half Marathon towards the end of last year, one thing that I said after the race itself was remind me to basically like grow some balls and just go for it sometimes, because I have this habit of starting really conservative in races, and you know, sometimes I feel really good and then I can actually go for it in the second half. But usually I've left it a little bit too late to have any kind of particularly special performance. And I think actually if I wanna get any good times with races, especially as I get older, I think I am gonna have to start like actually putting myself on the line a little bit and just kind of, yeah, just like grabbing the race by the horns and just giving it a go. And if I blow up, I blow up. It takes a certain level of courage, I guess, to actually really go for it and to just see what you can do. So that's what I'm doing in this race. And whatever happens in the race, I'm chalking it up to experience. If I blow up in the second half, so be it. This training block has been so far from perfect. It's been a properly 12-week training block. 3 of those weeks I've been ill. So what's that? 3, 6, 9, 12. That's a quarter of it. So that is obviously far from ideal, but it is what it is. All I can do now is get in these last few training sessions. These last 3 weeks are good actually, because I've got 1 more week of proper training and then I get some taper time. And that taper is going to be really important as well, because it will mean that I arrive at that start line feeling nice and refreshed. Also, I just want to say that I am so excited to be working with Soar Running for this vlog. S-O-A-R, not S-O-R-E, although judging by this session, there is a good chance that I will be both of those things by the end of the run. I'm actually wearing their kit right now. I was trying it on this morning. This is hopefully what I'm going to be wearing for the race, and that's why I'm testing it out today, because obviously this is a fast session. It's a good chance to test out everything that I'll be doing on race day, including the kit that I'm going to be wearing. So I'll be wearing this top and also the pair of shoes that I'm going to be wearing today on race day itself, but because it's in Barcelona, there's a good chance that I'm going to be wearing the matching shorts to these. But Soar Running is one of my favourite brands. I have spoken about them a lot before. Even when I'm not working with them directly, I am a massive fan of theirs, not just for the kit, although the kit is really, really good, but also for their ethos. I think it's really rare, and I say this with my heart as someone who has been doing exercise for quite a long time. I think it is really rare for brands to put in a huge amount of time into research and development before they put their kit out into the world. And this is one thing that Soar Running do fantastically. They don't just shrink it and pink it. They don't just get the men's kit, make it smaller and make it pink and then sell it as women's clothing. They actually put time and effort into figuring out the way that clothing fits on women, as well as how clothing fits on men. You know, this kit is not just sort of like boxy and whatever, it does what it does. This actually fits perfectly. Every single element of the clothing is designed to work, to function, and not to have anything extra as well. So you're not ending up with bulky pieces of kit. Like, this stuff is good. It is really quick as well. So like, if you're racing, you want something light and breezy and flowy, and they've got so much amazing race kit. But also, as I'm going to be testing out today, because it's a lot colder today than it will be for my race day, they've also got some really good winter running kit, and I've been using their stuff for over 3 years now, I think it is. And through all of the different seasons, especially summer, because I like their really colourful kit, but through all the seasons they have something for everything. So their windbreaker I always get asked about. They're waterproof as well. One of the few waterproofs that are actually waterproof that I wear all the time on those wet runs, which I thought it was going to be today, so I was going to be wearing that today, but no need, thankfully. Just everything functions as it should, and I really, really love them. Also, final thing, you guys know that I am really into sustainability, and so many brands will overproduce their clothes, produce lots of not very good clothes, and not pay their workers properly. And I think something that Saw Running are doing really well is not overproducing clothes, only producing a certain number, not producing things specifically so that they can sell them at sale prices, which, you know, we all love a sale, but actually if it's at the cost of someone being paid proper wages for making those clothes, then I don't think that's worth it. So basically, the long and short of it is, it's a brand doing things right. The kit works, it's made sustainably, and it looks really good as well, which I think is an extra win. I'm really excited about this one. This is their Summer Rainbow, I believe it's called, and it comes with a matching pair of shorts, which I'm going to be wearing for the half marathon itself if it is warm. Without further ado, I'm going to get on, actually get properly dressed, get my kit together, and eat some breakfast, and then I'm going to head out for the run. So I'm just on my warm-up run right now, down to Bristol to Bath cycle path, which is one of the few long, flat-ish routes that is around here. It means that I don't have to stop every so often for cars or pedestrians or weaving in and out of people, so it's always a good one to go to. But it is 3.5 kilometers from home, so it's just as well that I have to get this warm-up jog in. Trying to do this by heart rate, so keep this, it says conversational pace, so for me, trying to keep it within zone 2, and then we get to go fast. And I'm slightly worried because my watch is in miles, because I've not switched it to kilometers yet, and the session itself is in kilometers. Thankfully I've uploaded the session to my watch, but it always sort of takes me by surprise. I did an interval session earlier this week where I was just like, I had absolutely no idea what was going on because of trying to convert. My brain just goes to mush when I'm running, so trying to convert from miles into kilometers and back to miles was not happening. So thank goodness you can start to upload sessions. It's something I've only got into in the last couple of years, and it has been a complete game changer. Anyway, it's such a beautiful day today. Look at all of this. Gorgeous, gorgy, gorgeous. Right, I've just made it to the cycle path and just jogging along, really enjoying the sunshine. I'm listening to Gwen Moffat's Space Below My Feet audiobook, which is so good. It's really interesting. I think it was written in 1958, and I mean, first when I didn't know how old it was when I first started listening to it, so I was like, it's a bit old-fashioned. And I realised for the time it's so progressive. It's really, really fascinating. It's about this woman who was in the army and then is also an avid climber and sort of outdoorsy person, and it's about her life really, and it's so interesting, and it's really
like visual. So as I'm listening to it, I'm imagining right now that I'm in the Dolomites. Sadly not the case, but at least it's a bit flatter here. But yeah, I really, really love it. It's been on my wish list on Audible for a while, so enjoying that very much. I have fear when we start to go fast, I might have to switch to something a little bit less soporific. But for now, it's good. It's keeping my heart rate down. And we've done 2.2 miles so far. So what's that? 3.5k? Oh God, I'm so, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, so just getting the rest of this easy bit done and then we go fast. So the purpose of this run is basically to practice half marathon strategy, not for pacing. Obviously I'm not going fully at my half marathon pace, but basically to have a long enough run with enough intensity to practice my fueling, practice my pacing for those faster bits, practice recovery as well as I go, and hopefully get used to putting a bit of effort in over a longer period of time, which is something that I've not really done this training block or really in the last 2 years at all. When I've done my interval sessions, they've been maximum about 7 kilometers or so. So doing this over 16 kilometers and having those fast, intense bits in the middle will be a good test, not just for my legs or my heart or my lungs, but for my mind and my gut as well when it comes to fueling. And you may notice for these long runs I usually bring water or electrolytes. I've not done that today. I'm lucky that it's pretty cold here today. It's about a couple of degrees at the moment, and also I won't be using a pack during the half marathon itself, so I really wanted to like test it out, how it will be and not have too much extra weight, because obviously that will affect my pace and my heart rate as well, which if I can, I want to keep it as far as low as possible on the sections where I'm not going too fast. So yeah, it's basically like 3 weeks out from half marathon, test everything. So that's the goal and we'll see how it goes. Minutes in, first gel. It's got caffeine in it as well. I'm hoping it's going to help me in a little bit. These gels are so good. Vela 40 is the best. And perks of a public route, you get a bin. Time for fast. Let's see if we can do this kilometre. Whew, not too much talking. Fast kilometre done. Somehow feels a hell of a lot faster on here than it does in my usual interval training place, but I wonder if that's all psychological. I'm just used to doing it there, although not to come up with excuses. There is a slight hill there, just a very slight one, a couple of percent. Anyway, I think I got it done. I don't 100% know, but fingers crossed. I'll find out when I get the stats later. Unfortunately, I'm so bad at converting miles to kilometers that I have no idea what my pace was. But you know, I did a kilometer uncomfortably fast, and that's that. Can't ask more than that. So I've got another kilometer to go in this direction, and then turn around, come back. I absolutely love being on all of this gear. Not only do I think it looks really good, which is helpful, you know, you go at least 1% faster if you think you look good, but also it's just really nice not to have to worry about like leggings falling down or scratchy tops or getting too hot, all of that kind of stuff that if you're not wearing the right gear becomes a bit of an issue. And this stuff, especially these cargo leggings, you know, they've got the zip pocket at the back. They've also got a pocket that is for like waterproof jackets, and if I got too hot on this run, I'd just stick this in there, which when I'm not carrying a pack is an absolute godsend. It's so clever because it means that I don't have to stash things in the hedges anywhere, and I can just carry it with me without it also then, you know, having to be around my waist, getting tangled up with my running belt and my gels and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just so nice. And like, I know SOAR can be expensive, but I also think if you buy cheap, you buy twice. And all of my SOAR stuff that I got, you know, 3 years ago or something is going strong, and it's still super comfortable, still performs fantastically, and I expect it to do so for a long time to come. So yeah, I don't know, if you want really high performance gear, that just means that you can focus on running rather than thinking about what you're wearing or whatever. I do think it is so good. And I bought some for my dad as well for Christmas, and he sends me a picture of him wearing it every time he does parkrun, and he loves it, and you know, it says a lot. I know people are always skeptical or cynical of influencers, you know, being gifted stuff and things, but if I'm spending my money on buying more of that same gear, you know, it's got to be good. So yeah, I hope that speaks for itself, and it's not just me saying this. Everyone who tries it loves it, so that's a good review, I think. All right, 5 miles done. Back we go. Another 5 miles in this direction. I think I'm getting the hang of this mileage business. Actually no, I take that back. I have no idea. Hopefully my watch will tell me when I next have to do a fast bit, because otherwise it might never happen. Oops. I just had a funny thought. I was thinking, I wonder how much faster I'd be if I didn't have to blimmin' film all of my runs. And I was like, A, it definitely takes my mind off running, which is good, because sometimes I get tired and then I chat to the camera, look completely insane, and sort of forget for a bit how tired I am. And 2, it's not like it's not good practice, because when it comes to my races, this is exactly what I do. It's almost like these training runs that I vlog are exactly training runs for my races, which I will also vlog. I don't think I will carry my GoPro myself for the half marathon. I'm hoping to run with someone who will be able to carry it for me, at least when the going gets tough. But yeah, I was actually just thinking, like, this is really good training, and also helps keep it conversational, you know. If I'm running and chatting, and I can't be running in zone 5, which is good. So yeah, I did actually have a comment once from someone being like, it was during a race, being like, imagine how much faster you could be if you didn't bother filming. And I was like, well, it is my job. It is like half the reason that I'm, not half the reason that I'm running, but pretty much I would not be filming. I'm not filming for me, you know. I love doing YouTube, but it can be faffy at times, but I'm hoping that it is helpful for people as well. But anyway, I'm coming up to the last bit of my nice easy run, and then I get another kilometre of pain and horror, and then it's nice easy all the way back. So I'm gonna stop talking, let my heart rate go down a bit before the kilometre of pain. Okay, let's go! bit better than in the other direction. It is slightly downhill this way, so it felt good though. Interestingly, I'd done one interval session since the end of November, beginning of December, because I got ill, as I said last week, and then, you know, there's just no point doing it if you're ill because it's not going to make you better. So I did an interval session earlier this week, which went really well. 4 by 1 kilometre at 4:15 per kilometre, with just walking in between, and it was lovely. Really enjoyed it. Not sure how I'm supposed to do 21 kilometres at not too much slower than that pace, but that is a problem for 3 weeks time. We will see what we can do. But yeah, it felt good today. I think a lot of running fast is just about, not so much about fitness, but just about like getting your legs used to going that fast, and your brain as well. So having done one earlier this week, felt a lot better today. Probably helps I've had some gels and some caffeine, which I wouldn't usually unless I was racing. So all good practice. Now I have about four and a bit kilometers to go back home. That's nice and easy, and then that's me done for the day. So yeah, whew, feels good. So good to be out, so good to be out in the sun. Puppies are worth stopping for. Last 500 meters, nearly done. And I feel okay. Yoo-hoo! I think the sun's helping. Oh, it's so nice. I can't wait for spring, and judging by the comments on my last vlog, nor can you guys. Best season for running for sure. Woo! Uh-oh. All right. 10 miles done. Yeah! Okay. Definitely not light. Hard? Oh, I don't know what I pressed. Still getting to grips with this watch, which by the way is the Coros Pace Pro. It's good fun, this watch, but I still don't know how to use it. So I'm still working that one out. So 10 miles done. 1 hour 39:50. Now that includes stopping to film at various points, which obviously I won't be doing during my half marathon. I will be filming the whole way. Hopefully someone else will be filming me the whole way. But generally I felt really good, and it felt good to be out, especially considering, you know, I ran 8 kilometers yesterday. I've done a 40-kilometer week, which I've not done for a while, and speed is not my strong point right now, but it's all good practice, and fingers crossed, it all comes together on race day, which of course is the point in taper week. Taper week means that I will have rested a lot in the lead up to the race, and hopefully I'll be a little bit faster, because quite frankly 16 kilometers in nearly 1 hour 40, it's not what I'm looking for when it actually comes to the race itself. But as a training run, not bad.
So that is me done for the day. I love a weekend long run. I honestly feel like I've completed so much, even though it's literally the afternoon and I've done one thing today, and that is go for a long run. Oh, and create some IKEA drawers as well, which, to be fair, took almost as long as the run. That was so good. I really loved it. I feel good. I felt good during the run. I feel good after the run. And honestly, like almost more than the paces itself, feeling good on a run is something that makes me happy. Because after all, I do it for fun, and if I don't have fun, then I don't really enjoy it, if that kind of makes sense. I think some people put performance above enjoyment, and while I love to perform well, if I'm not having fun while I'm doing it, I'm not happy. So I really enjoyed that. I had such a hearty lunch afterwards. It was honestly so enjoyable. I got back and Rhian was making lunch and it was so delicious. It was white rice and some kind of like bean mincy mix with curry stuff. It was a bit of a weird mix of leftovers, but really, really delicious. And of course, a complete protein source as well. And also the white rice is useful for replenishing glycogen stores in muscles. But more than all of that stuff, it tasted really good, which makes me happy. Speaking of food, just before I sign off for the day, I wanted to show you a new book that I have been sent. Vertebrate Publishing do so many amazing like books about the outdoors, but they also have published this, Fuel for Thought by Rhian McGregor, who is an incredible sports dietitian and nutritionist. And this says it's a practical guide for fueling your adventures, and then has loads of information about lots of different things in it. And I haven't actually read it yet, but I wanted to give it a shout out, because if you are interested in learning about the way that your body works while you're doing all of this kind of adventuring, exercise, running, whatever it is that you do, then I think that's a really good place to start. And another one is anything written by Rhian Lambert. She has written some really, really good books about nutrition in general, not sports specific, but in general, which is well worth reading. I think knowledge is power, so well worth reading those. I'm really happy with how today's session went. I am very excited to have a rest day tomorrow and then be hitting the ground running on Monday again. I have one more week of proper training for this half marathon before sort of 2 weeks of taper. First week is just a little bit of tapering, and then the second week is proper tapering. I'm flying out to Barcelona towards the end of that week and then racing on the Sunday. So all in all, it's going to be a busy time, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it goes well. And I keep looking at pace charts as well, so I've been quite nervous to share any particular goals for the half marathon itself, because if I don't get it, then not only am I disappointed, but I also feel like other people will be disappointed. Whether or not they share that, it's in my head then, so I feel like I'm letting a lot of people down. But I've been looking at pace charts to see how fast I have to run. So my goal is to get a PB, a personal best, and to do that I would have to run faster than 4:50 per kilometre, which feels very manageable, but I have never in my life run that fast for that distance. So we'll see if I'm capable of doing that. I have absolutely no idea, but I can just cross my fingers, do all the training that I can do, hope for the best, rest up, and then just see how it goes and hopefully have a good time while doing it. So that is it for this week's vlog. I wanted to give another shout out to Saw Running. Thank you so much, Saw, for sending out this gear and allowing me to test it out, but also allowing me to share it with other people. It's really cool as someone who spends a lot of time sharing content with people. When I get to work with the brands that I have really, really loved for a very long time, it makes me so happy. It makes me feel like I must be doing something right. And it's even better when the kit means that I can hopefully perform to my best standard as well, which I definitely think that this kit does. I will link down in the description box below what I am wearing in this vlog so that you can go and find it. And I don't know if I get a discount code, but if I do, I will put that down there as well. So fingers crossed for that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. We are on our way to gaining some more subscribers, which, as I mentioned in last week's vlog, is my goal for this year. So again, please do hit the subscribe button and make sure to share this video with other people if you are enjoying it. And that is it. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!